Hello, friends. This is Mac Payne here. I am the originator and operator of the Vietnam Veteran News podcast. In this video, I'm announcing that I've just published another podcast episode over at the Vietnam Veteran News podcast. It is episode 3193. In that episode, I take a look at none other than Robert S. McNamara. Back in 2003, they made a documentary about him where he talked a lot about the Vietnam War. Whenever you hear some of the things he says, if you're a Vietnam veteran like I am, you might think, this guy was running the war? He was a very smart person, but I don't know how much sense that he had. That's why they call this documentary The Fog of War. Recently, somebody wrote a story about the movie, The Fog of War. They took another look at it. It appeared on a website about films. I mentioned whatever that website is in the podcast episode. I am now encouraging you to go over and take a look at that episode. I think it would be very educational. I am a strong believer in studying history. That's right. I'm one of those who firmly believes that the more we know about what happened in the past, we'll be better able to handle what happens in the future. There were a lot of lessons in the Vietnam War that we need to learn. This episode, where I talk about the Fog of War documentary on Robert S. McNamara, will teach you a lot. One of the things that's very interesting about studying history is that you find out you discover some very interesting things. T.S. Eliot put it this way, which I think is pretty cool. T.S. Eliot said this: "We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time." That was a poet, but I think he makes some sense. It's very interesting. I think the more we learn about the world we live in, the more we discover more about where we live today. And it's very important. That's why I am encouraging you to go over and check out episode 3193 of the Vietnam Veteran News Podcast. I made it very easy for you to find it. You don't have to go over to Google and put in search and all these other things to try and find this podcast. All you have to do is scroll down underneath this video, and there you will find a handy link to the Vietnam Veteran News Podcast. And all you've got to do is click on that link, and you will be taken directly to the podcast where you can listen to me deliver episode number 3193 about the fog of war. You'll also notice that when you go down below this video, to click on that link, there will be another link there just above it. That link will take you to where you can buy me a coffee. This is a bald-faced request for you to help finance this video and my podcast. I've been doing this podcast for 13 years, put out over 3,100 episodes, and I have paid for about 99.5% of all the expenses on this podcast. If you like hearing material about the Vietnam War and the brave veterans who served there, as told to you by yours truly, a Vietnam veteran, I would request that you help me out by buying me a coffee. The coffee, I have priced my coffee at $5 a cup. So when you go to that website, you can put in there 1 cup, 2 cups, 10 cups, or 100 cups. Whatever you want. Click on it and pay for the coffee, and I'll benefit from it along with this podcast. So now that we're done with this bald-faced request for funding sources, why don't you go on over and listen to this podcast episode about Robert S. McNamara and some of the things that were going through his mind during the Vietnam War. You might be surprised. So don't delay. Get on over there and check it out. This is Mac Payne here telling you, thank you for listening and have a great day.